So what were my favorite hip-hop albums of 2019? Y'all wanna know? Let's go.
I came to vibe, you came to function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no, 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 no. I came to vibe, you came to function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no, no, no.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy Bright here, the R&B kid. I'm back in from the video for y'all. I hope you guys all had a wonderful Christmas. So this is gonna be part of the series of videos I'm doing to end out the year for 2019, where I'm talking about all my favorite albums of the year. So in this video, I'm gonna be breaking down my top 15 hip hop albums of the year. I did a top 20 last year, but I feel like this has been a really weak year for hip hop in general. So I'm only doing a top 15 this year. I will have honorable mentions that I'll talk about at the end of the video, so wait for those. But yeah, man. Let's get into it. I'm excited to give y'all this list of what I thought were the best rap projects of the year. Like I said, this was a weak year for hip hop in general, but there still were strong albums that came through, even though I felt like overall hip hop didn't really have that much of a presence to me, a strong presence as much as it has in earlier years in this decade. So, and also I'm not doing a song of the year list because I feel like one, there's just way too many songs to comb through compared to albums, and I feel like with songs, people just tend to put out their what were their favorite songs as opposed to what they thought were actually the best songs of the year. So I'm not trying to really get at who was my favorite. I'm really trying to get at what I thought was what were the best albums of the year. I'm trying to do that more as opposed to what was my favorite, you know. But yeah, man, I'm excited. Let's get into this list. I'm doing a top 15. Let's get it. Disclaimer, if there's any albums that are not my top 15 or my honorable mentions, it's either because I didn't listen to the album, so I haven't heard it yet, or I just didn't think it was that good enough to be anywhere near this list. So no offense if but let me know down below if there's any album that you think I missed. But I think I'm pretty proud of this list. I think it was pretty good. But yeah, man, enough talking. Let's get into this list, man. My top 15 hip hop albums of 2019. Y'all ready? Let's go. Alright, y'all, number 15, we have Crash Talk by ScHoolboy Q. This album actually came out on my birthday. This is ScHoolboy Q's 5th album. I think this is definitely ScHoolboy Q's weakest album to date, I'd say so. But it was still a solid project that had a lot of good songs on it. I think this album lacked a little. When I first heard it, I was in love with it, but as time going on, I realized it wasn't as good as I actually thought it was when I first heard it. Maybe I was just happy because it was my birthday when I reacted to it. But this album is still solid, so I wanted to put it in my top 15. I still had a lot of highlights. Tales, Chopsticks with Travis Scott, Num Num Juice, Lies with Ty Dolla $ign and YG. That should have been a banger this year, but that only come through like that. 5200, Floating with 21 Savage, Dangerous with K.R.I.T, Crash, Water with Lil Baby was a cool little vibe. I didn't like it at first, but it grew on me. And Attention. But all around, this album was really solid. A solid project from ScHoolboy Q that really just felt like him just trying to tell a story in the way he knew how to. And I think it was a pretty consistently good album. There wasn't a lot of filler and a lot of random tracks. Every track made sense. It lacked a little bit of focus and direction, but it still was a solid project. So at 15, we got ScHoolboy Q's Crash Talk. At number 14, we have A Perfect 10 by DJ Mustard. Man, I gotta say, I'm so proud of DJ Mustard, man. I feel like DJ Mustard is one of those rare producers that just seems to only get better as time goes on. He only seems to get better as a producer and as a curator as time goes on, and as he has more experience in the industry. He's only getting better. His projects are only getting better as years go on. And this album, Perfect 10, was one of those quiet albums that just came out back in June, and it was actually so solid. Obviously, it wasn't mostly him. It was obviously a lot of other artists, but just as a curated album, this album was just a great project from start to finish. Pure Water with Migos, Fire, Baguettes in the Face with Nav and Playboy Cardi and A-Boogie with Hoodie, that was a cool little joint. Interstate 10 with Feature, that was dope. 100 Bands with Quavo, YG, McMill, that was a banger. Whoa Whoa was cool. Surface with LMA, that was a nice little R&B jam that I still play out all the time till today. Ballin' with Roddy Ricch, we all know that's a freaking jam. Shout out to Roddy Ricch, he killed it on Ballin'. And Perfect 10, the outro with Nipsey Hussle, was just a great way to honor Nipsey Hussle, where Nipsey just spitting his shit with a nice, little late night somber, introspective, really deep track. All in all, this album was so solid. It had a great balance of party joints, up-tempo joints, more introspective songs and some R&B songs. All around, it was just really solid, well-rounded project from DJ Mustard. And I'm looking forward to seeing what else he's going to do coming into this new decade, man. So shout out to DJ Mustard. At number 14, I got Perfect 10. At number 13, we got Danny Brown with You Know What I'm Saying. Shout out to Danny Brown. He came through the Dope Project this year. This album is filled with, you know, classic hip hop production. You know, Danny Brown is always in his bag with his quirky flow, his quirky bars, but his really interesting personality is shown throughout this whole project. Some of my highlights included Theme Song, Dirty Laundry was dope. Let's see, Best Life, Now I'm Living My Best Life. You Know What I'm Saying, and also Combat, and off the album Combat was dope too. But yeah, man, this is a dope project. It was a quiet release, but Danny Brown still came through with a solid project this fall, and he just came through with You Know What I'm Saying. So shout out to Danny Brown. At number 13, I got You Know What I'm Saying. At number 12, we got Dave East with Survival. This album was a little bit too long. It was like an hour and 18 minutes, so it was a little bit too long. It definitely could have had some tracks shaved off of it. But this was such a, it was an album that felt so classic. It felt like a classic 90s hip hop album with Dave East's amazing storytelling, his hard ass bars throughout this project. He brought on some, you know, some nice, you know, a rap and R&B features to help round out the sound and to make it feel really full and whole. But yeah, man, this is a great project that kind of really is like kind of like a movie of his life up until this point. He's had plenty of projects before, but this is his official debut album, and I think he did a good job. It kind of did come and go commercially, but you know, critically it was a solid album to me. Some highlights off of Survival. Man, I don't know, They Want to Kill You with DJ Premier, Godfather 4 with Nas, Need a Sign with Tiana Taylor, On My Way to School, that was a dope track. I love that track. I don't know, there's so many good tracks off this album. Alone with Jacquees, Everyday with Gunna, Me and Mines, I love that track, talking about his daughter. Daddy Knows Too, talking about his daughter. And On Site with Ty Dolla $ign was a nice little banger. That was a bonus track. And The Marathon Continues with Nipsey Hussle. A lot of great songs on it with him just in his bag with the storytelling. So at number 12, we got Dave East with Survival. At number 11, I got Rap or Go to the League by 2 Chainz. Another solid addition to 2 Chainz' catalog. He put out the album in March. It was very solid. This album is just an album with, you know, great production, great bars. 2 Chainz is just in his bag, you know, doing his thing. With this album that's just talking about, you know, the hustle mentality, and a lot of dudes thinking they can only make it by trying to rap or go to the league. And he talks about a lot of other stuff in his life too. But this album is really this album that really just touched on that hustle mentality that a lot of dudes are on when they're trying to come up in the game. You know, some highlights for me off this album. I mean, everything was popular this album. Forgiven, Marsha Broach's Death to Society. Let's see, NCAA, Mama I Hate a Lick with Kendrick Lamar, Rule the World with Ariana Grande. I love that song so much. I've been bumping that song all year. Girl's Best Friend with Ty Dolla $ign, $2 Bill. Yeah, this whole album was just solid, man. So at number 11, got Rap or Go to the League by 2 Chainz. At number 10, we got Big K.R.I.T with KRIT Is Here, man. This is an album that actually I always low-key even forgot came out this year. I really wish a lot more people revisited it and talked about it more, because I felt like this album kind of came and went, but it's such a solid project from Big K.R.I.T. Like I said, I don't go back and listen to it a lot, but when I reviewed it, I'm like, oh man, this is actually one of the most solid projects that came out this year, low-key, even though it was quiet release in the summer. Some of my highlights include KRIT Here. Let's see, Addiction with Lil Wayne and Saweetie. That should have been a dope single this year. Energy, I Need Your Energy. Let's see, Every Time with Baby Rose, Prove It with J. Cole, Learn from Texas. Yeah, this whole album, a lot of these songs were taken off of his EP that came out earlier this year. But yeah, man, this whole album is solid. Just KRIT in his bag, just doing his thing, talking about, you know, talking all his, you know, his down south shit. I saw him when he came to Boston earlier this year. He and Rapsody killed that concert, so shout out to both of them. But yeah, man, so solid album for Big K.R.I.T. You did your thing, bro. So at number 10, I got Big K.R.I.T. with KRIT Is Here. At number 9, I got Everything's for Sale by Boogie. Boogie came through with definitely one of my favorite projects of the year at the top of the year in January. What I love about this album is just how much Boogie showed his diverse flows and like the different ways he like comes through on tracks. He has many different types of vibes that were all showcased throughout this album. This album is just hella solid, talking about his struggles, his life, the things he's been through for his like debut project. And some of my highlights definitely include Silent Ride. I freaking love that song. That song's a banger. Soho with JID, Live 95 was a dope track, Rainy Days with Eminem, Whose Fault, No Warning, Self-Destruction, all dope tracks. But yeah, man, this album was just really solid, tight, really great storytelling, really great bars, great production, and like I said, just a lot of different types of vibes and a lot of different types of energy on the album. It was just a really nice, solid, compact project from Boogie. So at number 9, I got Everything's for Sale by Boogie. At number 8, we have Diaspora by GoldLink. Definitely one of the most interesting projects of the year. As you can tell by the title, you know, GoldLink really used this album to really broaden his horizons, and he really went all over the globe looking for people to collaborate with, and he really used sounds from all over the globe to really create this album, from Afro beats to some Spanish joints to like American trap sounds to even having like an Asian rapper on this album. He really pulled from all over the globe to create this really dope body of work. Some highlights for me included definitely Joke Ting, Maniac, Zulu Screams, that was a dope track. You Say, love that track. Yard, No Lie, Tiff Freestyle. All in all, this was a really strong project that really just gave us such a diverse set of sounds and songs. But they all still were really together. They all came together really beautifully, and it all sounded really unified. So this is a dope project. Shout out to GoldLink. At number 8, I have Diaspora. At number 7, we have The Lost Boy by YBN Cordae. I'm so proud of YBN Cordae. This is his debut album, and it was such a great, amazing introduction and statement for his artistry coming into the rap game. YBN is a guy definitely having my eye on. I'm looking forward to seeing what he's going to do in the future because he has so much potential. He's such a talented dude. I don't even have too many highlights off this album because everything was so consistently good, but my favorite track is definitely R.M.P. with Anderson .Paak. I love that track. Should have been nominated for a Grammy. But this whole album is just solid, bro. This album is just an album that YBN really used to express his his struggles, trying to grow up and find himself, and being lost but trying to find himself, and depending on family, trying to get into the rap game, and just all the stuff he's been through in his life. It really culminated in this album, and it was just a really great statement and a really great solid body of work. So at number 7, I have YBN Cordae with The Lost Boy. A dope project, bro. Shout out to you. At number 6, we have Mirrorland by EARTHGANG. I love this group. I know they probably hate the comparisons, but they're pretty much like a new age Outkast. They are the quirkiest, weirdest rap group out there, but I freaking love them. They're certified weirdos, and they showed it on this album. I think this is their official debut album. I think of their official album. Man, so many great tracks on this album. Up, Top Down, Bank, This Side. I don't know, Avenue, Tripping with Kehlani, Stuck with Aaron Ray, Wings. But yeah, man, this album feels like a kaleidoscope of just quirky sounds, quirky vibes, but also hard ass bars. And they talk about real shit on this album too. For being from the South, they talk about struggle. It's all done in a really artistic and dope way. So EARTHGANG really showed their ass on this album with just great songs, really cool vibe. It was kind of a quiet relationship, but I love this project, and definitely one of the most memorable to me from this year. So at number 6, I definitely have EARTHGANG with Mirrorland. Y'all killed that. At number 5, we have Born to Rap by The Game. A solid way to allegedly end out The Game's career. He's saying that this is his final album, and if it is going to be his final album, I think he definitely left us on a good note. Born to Rap was definitely one of the most solid projects of this year, and I kind of wish he actually just made a double album, but it really was just a long album, 25 tracks, but it's okay because this is his last project, and he definitely killed it. This is an album where he just, talking his normal shit, he's talking his shit, and talk about what he's been through, and this album really did feel like a great culmination of all the things he's been through and all the things he's learned from his time of rap in the game, and he really just put it on wax on his album. He was name dropping like crazy as usual, but he definitely gave us great bars, great production, and this album flowed very well too. Some of my highlights included definitely No Smoke with Miguel, dope track, The Light, let's see, Gucci Flip Flops, Born to Rap, Welcome Home with Nipsey Hussle, I Didn't Want to Write This Song with Marsha Ambrosius, great dedication track to Nipsey. The Code with 21 Savage, that was a great track. The Code was dope. Stainless with Anderson .Paak, I love that track. Let's see, One Life with Jay Stone and Masego, and Crossing Jesus Back with D Smoke, all dope tracks. So The Game definitely ended his career on a high note with this amazing album that I definitely want to highlight. Definitely one of the most I think well put together classic rap albums of the year. So shout out to The Game with Born to Rap. You killed that, bro. You did that. Alright, y'all, number 4, we have Bandana by Freddie, Gibbs, and Madlib. I don't even know what to say about this album, y'all. This album was just hard. It was hard. I'm not even gonna pick out highlights. I'm not even gonna I don't even feel like this album really had a concept like that. If it did, y'all, maybe I'm tripping, y'all let me know. But I feel like this album was just a hard album with just dope tracks back to back, hard ass bars by Freddie Gibbs, great production by Madlib, and this album just flowed right. It was just hard as hell, and it was just, to me, it felt like a classic old school hip hop album, but it still felt like now. This album was just dope. I can't say enough about it. This album was hard. That's all I gotta say about it. At number 4, I got Freddie Gibbs and Madlib with Bandana. Dope project, bro. Dope project. At number 3, we got Revenge of the Dreamers 3 by Dreamville. Man, what can I say? I can't say enough about this album, man. This was a moment in hip-hop. This was a moment for the year for me. This was, to me, one of the highlights of the year musically. And also, this was my favorite moments of the decade in terms of a project being released. Seeing all these amazing artists come together, you know, at the top of the year to record this album under a really tight schedule, and then they put it out in July. And it came out as like flawless and as dope as it is. This album is crazy. This was really a moment, and something I really hope becomes a trend in the future. Just having a bunch of artists come together to create a project really quickly out of nowhere, and it ends up working out really well. You know, some of my highlights, man. Under the Sun, Down Bad. That song still goes crazy. Lambo Truck, Don't Hit Me Right Now. Wells Fargo. That song is just, that was a moment. That was just a moment. Wells Fargo was a whole moment. Self Love, Ladies, 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 Costa Rica, 1993, Got Me, Middle Child, Sacrifices. Like, this whole album was just freaking amazing, man. Dreamville, shout out to y'all for this moment. All y'all win your bag. And shout out to all the other artists who are not on Dreamville who helped contribute to the project. This album was just a whole moment for hip-hop. Something I'm so proud of, and just one of my favorite projects of the year. One of the most complete albums, such a hard hip-hop album, and something that I'll never forget. And this album was just everything. So shout out to Dreamville. Revenge of the Dreamers 3 at number 3. At number 2, I got Igor by Tyler, the Creator. I know this isn't really like a rap album, but I'm still gonna put him in this list because this album is hip-hop enough, and this album is gonna be as high on my list as it is because this is definitely one of the most eclectic, adventurous, interesting, compelling, beautiful, artistic, and just one of the most well-executed albums of the year. It had a lot of R&B vibes in it, but I'll still consider it a hip-hop album. Tyler, Creator, this is definitely his best project. I'm so proud of him for this project. This album was a really dope love story from beginning to end. A really quirky love story. The production on this album was so freaking amazing. The production was insane. Shout out to, I think Tyler, Creator produced most of his album himself, which is insane. His production talent is just crazy. He killed this album. He killed all the production. Really quirky vocals. A lot of guest artists help make, you know, really bring this vision to life. This story was amazing. I love how compact it was. It was really tight. There was no filler tracks. Everything made sense. It flowed so well. The bars were really interesting. He had a lot of really interesting raps while still telling a really dope story overall. Man, I don't know. Highlights: Igor's theme, the production that was crazy. Earthquake, I think. Running Out of Time. A Boy Is a Gun. I don't know, Gone, Thank You, I Don't Love You Anymore, We Still Friends. This is a really dope album overall, man. This is a whole story, it was a movie, and definitely a musical achievement that I had to highlight. One of the best projects of the year. When it dropped, it came out of nowhere, and it just came through like a whirlwind, and I'm glad I got the #1 spot. Shout out to DJ Khaled. I'm glad I got the #1 spot because it deserved it, and it definitely did deserve an album of the year nomination at the Grammys. I'm still mad that it happened, but maybe it'll win best rap album, let's see. But at number 2, I definitely got Tyler, Creator with Igor, one of the crowning achievements of this year. Shout out to you, Tyler. You killed this album. At my #1 spot, I got Eve by Rapsody. Man, y'all gonna stop sleeping on Rapsody. I'm telling you, man, y'all gonna stop sleeping on Rapsody. She quietly came through one of the hardest and best rap albums of this year. Actually, on my mama's birthday, August 23rd. She came through the album on my mama's birthday and she killed it. And funny enough in itself, this album was dedicated to women across the world who have had an amazing impact on our world. Every song on the album is named after an important woman who really contributed to the history of the world in a really great way, whether it's, you know, older history or modern history, but this concept was so dope. Every track made sense in terms of who the track was dedicated to. This album felt so classic. It felt like a classic, like old school hip-hop album, but like brought into today's age. Rapsody's bars are just insane. Like, she's not competing with nobody. She'll rap circles on your favorite rapper. I shout out to Ninth Wonder, and I forgot who the other producer was, but Ninth Wonder, another producer, produced most of this album. They killed the beats. The beats were so fire. What she was talking about on this album was just so insane. She's talking about, like, you know, black solidarity, female empowerment, black people coming together. She's talking about like social justice issues. She also has some party tracks in there too. Like, this album just felt so complete. It had everything you needed on it. Any type of song you needed, it was on this album. And this album flowed so well. There was not one song that was filler. Every track was necessary. Every track was effective. Every track was dope. This is just a statement album that I'm so proud of Rapsody for making. This is one of my favorite projects of the year. I don't revisit it a lot, but it is such a solid project, and to me was the crowning achievement in rap this year that I heard. So yeah, man, I have to give it to Rapsody. my #1 spot. She deserves it. This album is insane. If you have not checked out the Eve album, go check it out right now. You will not be disappointed. This is such a classic hip hop album. We still need time. We still need to let time go by. But in my opinion, this album is a classic hip hop album. So at #1, I got Rapsody's Eve. Alright, y'all, so that was the top 15, but now let me get into my honorable mentions. But before I do that, I just want to mention a few albums that I couldn't really put into my top 15 or my honorable mentions. 2 albums first are by 2 UK rappers I just wanted to mention. I've not heard their albums yet, but I've heard great things about these albums, so maybe they would have ended up in my top 15, but I haven't actually heard these albums yet. I'm sorry, guys, but I just haven't heard the albums yet, and that's Stormzy's Heavy Is The Head and Dave's Psychodrama. 2 UK rappers I mess with, you know, heavy, but I just haven't actually heard their albums yet. Stormzy's came out this month, I haven't heard it yet, and Dave's came out a while ago, but I just heard about it. I've been hearing a lot of acclaim about the album, so those are 2 albums that I'm pretty sure are great. I just haven't heard them yet, so I want to mention them to y'all. And also 2 other albums I want to mention, Megan Thee Stallion's Fever, which I didn't put in my top 15. I don't even think she would have been on top 15 regardless, but also her project was a mixtape, so it wasn't really an album, so I couldn't really put in my honorable mentions either. But Fever was a great project that I enjoyed, but it was a mixtape, so I couldn't really put it in either my list or my honorable mentions, so I wanted to mention her. And Post Malone's Hollywood's Bleeding, another solid project that was like a half hip-hop, half pop album, so I couldn't really put it in my top 15 hip-hop albums or my honorable mentions because it wasn't really a full rap album. But that was an album that had hip-hop influences in it that I want to mention. That was a solid project and definitely one of the biggest albums of the year, so I wanted to mention it. But now let's get into my official honorable mentions for best rap albums of the year. These are albums that didn't make my top 15, but I still thought were definitely enjoyable and had their highlights definitely for the year, but they didn't make it into my top 15. So I'm just going to round it off for y'all real quick. Let's see, we got DaBaby with Baby on Baby and Kirk. Between Baby on Baby and Kirk, DaBaby just came through with a great, like, official, like, real introduction to the world musically, and he killed this year. To me, DaBaby was definitely one of the defining rappers of 2019, and between these 2 projects, he gave us bangers for days, and this gave us charisma and energy for days, and I just love what DaBaby did for 2019, so I definitely want to highlight these 2 projects, even though I'm still waiting for that amazing rap album by DaBaby, you know? Common's Let Love, a solid project that I think a lot of people just ignore because I think a lot of people are kind of over Common as a rapper, but I'm here for Common. I love Common. I think he's definitely one of our most, like, underrated, you know, veteran rappers of our time. But he put out a solid album with Let Love this year. Cousin Stizz's Trying to Find My Next Thrill. I gotta, you know, shout out. I gotta rep for the Boston home team. I gotta rep for the Boston people out here. Shout out to Cousin Stiz. He definitely came through with an enjoyable album. I actually almost put him in my top 15, but after I mulled through everything, he didn't make it. But his album was so solid. So many bangers of the album. So Cousin Stiz did his thing on the album. Such a solid project. Rick Ross's Port of Miami 2. Another album that I really enjoyed. Rick Ross is definitely still in his bag, still delivering great music after all these years. Port of Miami 2 was a great project that just has so many good songs in it, a lot of great beats. You know, and Rick Ross is definitely, to me, it wasn't one of the top albums of the year, but it was definitely a great project. Wale's Wow, That's Crazy, another MMG artist that came through with a project that didn't make my top 15, but was a solid album. Shout out to all my Nigerian brothers and sisters out there. Shout out to Wale, he killed his album. Definitely a great project. To me, it wasn't his best project at all, not one of the best projects of the year, but it was a solid addition to his catalog, with a lot of memorable songs on that album, like Sue Me, BGM, On Chill with Jeremiah, the track with Ari Lennox and Boogie. A lot of great tracks on the album. So shout out to Wale with Wow, That's Crazy. Roddy Ricch's Please Excuse Me for Being Antisocial. Roddy Ricch definitely came through with a strong project this year. To me, Roddy Ricch's sound does tend to mesh into a lot of other people's sounds currently right now, so I don't think he's standing out enough from the pack in terms of his own sound for me to put him into the top 15. But his album was solid and enjoyable as hell. He had a lot of good songs on that album, and it was consistently good from head to toe. War Baby's dope, The Box is dope, Start With Me With Gun is dope. So many good tracks on the album, so definitely have to give a shout out to Roddy Ricch for this solid project that came out this month. Fat Joe and Dre's Family Ties, another solid project that came out in December that I really like. I'm surprised at actually how good Fat Joe and Dre's album was. It definitely wasn't one of the best projects of the year, but it was a solid project. Family Ties had a lot of great tracks on it. Young Thug, So Much Fun. A lot of people really love this album. Drake has it as his album of the year. I don't understand why. To me, this album is nowhere near my top 10 of the year. It had a lot of great bangers, a lot of great enjoyable songs, so I'm definitely mentioning it here. But to me, it just didn't stand out enough for me to put it like my top tier of the year. But definitely was a solid project. Shout out Young Thug, he killed it. I love Hot. Just How It Is. So many good songs on the album that just bang for days. Jadana's 85 to Africa. Another solid project that I just love this year. Shout out to Jadana. I feel a lot of people ignored him after Classic Man, but Jadana's a great artist that really has way more to offer than just Classic Man. Like he comes out with solid projects. So definitely go check out 85 to Africa. A great mesh of Afro beats, R&B, hip hop, all on the same album. With him just talking about the struggle of kind of realizing how much he wanted to go back to Africa after he dealt with all the bullshit while he was living with him and his boys in a home in Atlanta. So kind of just dealing with that whole like xenophobia and wanting to go back to your roots. A lot of that type of conversation on the album. It was just a dope project all around. And lastly, Partisan Fontaine's underrated. Partisan Fontaine really is underrated. He's a dope dude. His voice and his charisma and his bars are dope. His album was really solid. Not a lot of filler, not a lot of weak tracks. His album was really solid. So I definitely want to mention it for y'all. Partisan Fontaine is someone I'm really looking forward to also seeing what he does in the future, because he's a dope writer. He's a dope rapper. He has a great personality. He makes good music. So I definitely want to mention underrated. One of my favorite projects of the year as well, even though it didn't make my top 15. So yeah, man, those are all my honorable mentions for albums. And before I end out the video, I just want to mention a few EPs that came out this year that I also thought were dope in hip-hop. So these are obviously not albums, but they were just quick EPs I thought were dope as well. So I just want to quickly mention them as well. We got D Smoke's Inglewood High. Shout out to D Smoke. He came through with a dope EP this year. The winner of Rhythm and Flow. D Smoke is a dope rapper who I'm looking forward to seeing what he does in the future. Dude is crazy. He came through with a dope EP. Rico Nasty and Kenny Beats' Anger Management. Rico Nasty is such a dope chick. I love her swag. I love her flow. Her voice is hard. Her music is hard. It's just interesting. It's out there. You know, she has her own type of swag and sound, and it comes through crazy on this EP. Anger Management is a whole vibe, and I love what Rico did with it with Kenny Beats. They killed it. Hit Boy and SOB times RBE's Family Not a Group. SOB times RB also had an album that dropped like actually at the end of this month called Strictly Only Brothers. That's actually really dope too. But I just want to mention their EP more so because that came out more earlier this year and it was really dope as well. And also had the addition of Hit Boy. They all killed it. Really dope bars, really hard ass beats. Just a really dope solid EP all around. Bryce Vine's Carnival is another dope you know, hip-hop EP that I enjoyed. Had more of like an R&B flair to it, but really dope project by Bryce Vine. I love the track La La Land and Classic and Perfect. I love those two tracks. And lastly, I want to give some love to my homeboy Debo, one of my homies from college who's been an amazing rapper for many years now. My dude is so talented. He dropped his EP called The Black Star Project this year. That was such a dope EP that I've loved a lot of the songs off of that EP. So I want to give some love to my homeboy Debo. You killed it, bro. I'm looking forward to the new music. I just want to give some love to him, and I want y'all to go check him out if y'all haven't checked him out already. He's a really dope rapper. That just gives you good bars, good vibes, talk, you know. He's one of those dudes that can give you the perspective of being like a first generation kid in America who's from Ghana, like, and not a lot of rappers will give you that type of energy on a record and that type of knowledge from that perspective. So I love that Debo gives you that. He just talks about so many different and dope things on his EP. So definitely want to give love to Debo on his EP as well. Definitely go check out his EP. And yeah, man, that wraps up all my favorite projects of 2019 in hip hop. That's it. Alright, y'all, so those are my top 15 hip-hop albums of 2019 along with some honorable mentions and some EPs I also enjoyed as well. Let me know what y'all thought about my list. Let me know what you thought about my, not even about the order, but let me know what you thought about who I put in my top 15, who you would have taken out, who you would have put in. Let me know what were some of your favorite projects, who you've been bumping all year. Let me know what your album of the year is. I know it's hard to do that, but maybe give me like your top 3 if you want to. Let me know who your favorite projects of the year. Let me know what y'all think about my list. And yeah, man, let's get the conversation started below. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed my ranking. If you didn't, I'm sorry, but this is my opinion, so this, you just gotta respect that as my opinion. But let me know what y'all opinion is down below this year on hip hop. Like I told you before, I think this was kind of a weak year for hip hop overall, but there still were plenty of solid albums that did come through. So yeah, let me know what y'all thought about hip hop this year. Let me know where y'all think hip hop is going in 2020 and beyond. Yeah, let me know what y'all think about my list. All right, appreciate y'all. If you haven't already, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Do all that more, okay? Appreciate y'all. And like I always say, guys, live your best life, drink more water, stay woke, and if you're mad or sad, go listen to your favorite song, make it feel better, okay? Go listen to your favorite song. But this has been your boy Bright, the R&B kid. Thank you for watching. But for now, I'm signing off, baby. Bye, y'all. Peace.
I came to vibe, you came to function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no, 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 no. I came to vibe, you came to function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no, no, no. Relax just a little bit. You don't gotta worry, you can just have fun.